What's going on, people? It's your boy NGS back at it with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Xbox plus Bethesda E3 2021 showcase. It's currently E3, as many of y'all know, even though it really doesn't feel like E3. Yet here we are. We have a lot of developers and publishers putting, I was going to say, their best foot forward, but clearly that's not the case, at showing us all types of new and shiny games that we'll hopefully play within the next couple of years. And one company that is no exception to that is a company that has grown very near and dear to my heart in the past year, and I'm of course talking about Xbox. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be discussing the Xbox Bethesda showcase. If any of you guys have been following the channel for the better part of a year, you would know that I have grown really fond of the direction Xbox has been taking their particular brand. Dare I say, I've been excited for a lot of things. The Series X is currently my preferred platform to game on this generation. However, I'd be lying if I said that while I do enjoy my time playing the Series X and I think it is a phenomenal machine, it has not given me any type of next generation experience that would really blow my mind. That is something that this Xbox showcase I really wished they would do. Give me a reason to get excited about gaming on the Series X outside of playing games that are, well, available on Xbox One. Give me an experience that will take advantage of this system's hardware. So if there was any type of conference to convince people like me who have gotten back into the ecosystem, in addition to a whole bunch of new people out there who have been on the fence about Xbox, it was going to be this E3. And did they succeed at that? Honestly, I'm going to go so far as to say as, yes, they did. However, of course, knowing me, you have to add an asterisk to that rule. Now, there was a lot of stuff shown off at this Xbox showcase. I'm talking a metric crap ton of stuff. So first things first, I want to give a shout out to the overall presentation and pacing of the show. Some people say this is kind of redundant. Why are you shouting out the pacing of the showcase? If you've been following gaming as long as I have, which is close to 15 years at this point, you would know that we have been through some really bad press conferences. And just to see the transition of press conferences that went from more business summits, dick waving, here's how many consoles that we have sold in this quarter, to actually focusing on the things that matter, which is games. We're getting that and then some. Overabundance of just games, letting the games do the talking, and Xbox has gotten really good at that. This showcase had very minimal talking. I think there was only 2 or 3 times anybody ever came out on stage to deliver any type of speech. And more often than not, those speeches were related to the games themselves, not just the circle jerk of saying how we are built different and we're better than the competition. So kudos to everybody involved in that, because there was a lot of games shown off, guys. A shit ton of games. So I'm not going to go through every single game that was shown off. I'm pretty sure most of y'all have already seen the showcase, but if you do want to check some of the things out, you can easily go on Twitter or check a gaming website and they can break down things. They can itemize everything that was shown off. But I am going to talk about a couple of notable exceptions, things that I found pretty interesting. But going back to what I said earlier about my expectations for the showcase, you know, a lot of stuff was really riding on this Xbox E3, considering, I mean, I make no, I don't hide the fact with me saying that Xbox has basically said this is the best E3 for Xbox for so many years now, man. For the better part of 4 or 5 years now, they've been saying that this is the best year for Xbox, best year for Xbox, best year for Xbox. And while a lot of that is corporate PR, and of course they have to say that, you really don't see the best year for Xbox there, especially compared to other platforms that are, well, letting the games do the talking. But for the first time in so many years, I can actually say that Xbox has delivered on a great press conference, in addition to, in my personal opinion, their best press conference since the Xbox 360 generation. Now, that's not saying much because they haven't had a lot of amazing press conferences, but this is definitely one to get excited about. So I want to talk about some of the things that I definitely noticed straight off the bat were a very big focal point for this company. We can't escape this. We can't escape the elephant in the room. It is right there. I'm talking about Xbox Game Pass, you guys. We already knew this was going to be a big player at the showcase. Of course, this is Microsoft's, almost as important to the Xbox brand as Xbox is, Game Pass. That's been a thing that they've been working on. It's been gestating for the past couple of years. And now is the first time that we are actually seeing the fruits of their labor, what they were trying to do with Game Pass, and it really brings everything full circle with the acquisition of Bethesda. I actually have a whole separate video I'm going to release later on this week talking about all the new things that have been going on with Xbox and, of course, the conference with Satya Nadella. But we are definitely seeing that with Game Pass. And the major point of Game Pass, if it hasn't been known by now, is to make it a service that adds value on a consistent basis. But how do you do that when there are only so many studios available at Xbox? Well, you do it two ways. First things first, you buy more studios. You buy the proverbial bank, as Batman did in Justice League. You go ahead and you secure all of these studios who can pump out quality games. Hence why they acquired Bethesda, so they can release games on a pretty regular basis. But in between that, you have to have other things that'll entice people. Some people might not be interested in the catalog of Xbox Game Studios or Bethesda. So what do you do then? You make third-party deals, which is what we are seeing at great length with Game Pass. I'm talking about games like Back 4 Blood, which is essentially a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. It's made by the Left 4 Dead guys, and this is a game that I was very much so looking forward to. I was already like in my head saying, yep, I'm going to get this game. I played the alpha. I love the alpha. I am going to get this game day one. And now that game is coming to Game Pass, day and date, where you can play with all of your friends. Of course, I'm still going to buy the game because I really want to have the game across every platform, but something like that is just a fantastic, fantastic addition to the service. And as we've seen, Xbox has struck deals with so many other studios, from single A, double A, all the way up to triple A, to get games on Game Pass day and date. So what people are seeing right now, and everyone is getting excited about this, expect to see more as the service grows, because Game Pass, while it's not a major money play for the company, this is something that they can do to help bolster the subscriber count. You do need to have monthly drops of games, and looking at the list right now, we have a good amount of games that are coming to Game Pass. So all of these games being available on Game Pass, I mean, I know I sound like a corporate shill right now talking about the greatness of Game Pass, but it's true, man. I mean, Back 4 Blood, a game that was $60 that I was already going to buy, now it's on Game Pass, and I don't have to bug my friends about shelling out $60 for that. That's definitely one great aspect of the Game Pass experience. But shifting gears away from Game Pass, right? Shifting gears away from this amazing service, let's talk about some of the big heavy hitter titles that they've shown off. Now, like I said earlier on, I want to get experiences that I can play this year on my Series X that can really show off the power of the Series X. And honestly, I didn't really get too many of those things. Now, I got some great looking games, phenomenal looking games, but none of those games where I'm just like, okay, this is new. This is some hot shit. You know what I'm saying? We start off with Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, the game that should have made a great first impression last year, but it didn't. This was do or die for 343. I know a lot of people say I'm harsh with 343 and saying that if they do not get this review right, they got to go. But thankfully, 343, they can stay. Because what we have seen in a year, and I don't know if it's 100% due to Joseph Staten coming back and help steering the direction of this game, but what I'm seeing with 343, from a campaign perspective to multiplayer, and if you guys have not seen the multiplayer deep dive they put up today, holy crap, man. Halo is back. Now, obviously, we don't know until we get our hands on the game, but it's just a different vibe altogether from Halo 4 and Halo 5. It's a different vibe from the Master Chief Collection. I'm seeing a lot of good things that I love. Halo is just looking awesome, man. And I desperately want this game to do well and end up being a great game. But of course, time will tell until we actually get our hands on the game, because everything can look good when you see trailers and pre-release footage and you hear the devs talking about it, but until we play for ourselves, we cannot say. But that being said, Halo looks fantastic. I keep watching that gameplay demo of the multiplayer stuff and all the changes and additions and the callbacks that they're doing. It's looking pretty damn solid. No release date though, which does kind of suck. I know a lot of people are worried that, oh my god, this means it might slip into 2022. I don't think that's the case. I just feel like Xbox hasn't settled on an exact date, whether they want to make this game a late September title, or they want to make this game on the anniversary, or it could possibly end up in December, depending on how much time they actually need. Remember, the situation that the world is in right now, that is still causing major issues for game development. But I think that this game is still on track for the end of 2021, and I can't wait to get my hands on it, because every single thing I see about the game is looking awesome. And this is why I said last year during that showcase, it's very important to make a great first impression. Imagine if this was the first impression that Halo got last year instead of the impression that we got then. I mean, that's all I'm saying, you guys. Like, if you want better, you have to demand better from this company. So there's no need to cap for things just because it's your favorite franchise. But that being said, moving away from Halo to talking about another game that was shown off, Battlefield 2042. I mean, is there really anything else you got to say about this? It's Battlefield. It's a solid franchise. I know everyone's complaining about the fact that it's a $70 multiplayer game. Different conversation for a different day. But from what I'm seeing, shit looks awesome, man. And it's got a grapple hook in there too, which is just so funny. It seems like it's like the year of grapple hooks. First Halo and Battlefield as well. Battlefield is looking fantastic. Another multiplayer game alongside Halo and Back 4 Blood that I cannot wait to play this season. And you guys know I am not a multiplayer fanatic. You know, I'm definitely more of a co-op guy. But when you just have Halo looking so good, and you got Battlefield looking so good, and then Back 4 Blood in the mix for the co-op stuff, dude, it's so fucking exciting. And 2 out of 3 are on Game Pass, and that makes it even better. I'm saving a lot of money this year. But Battlefield is looking great. The next game on the list, Forza Horizon 5. You know, that was, again, one of my predictions that I thought they would do, because it's been a few years since we had Forza. And honestly, I go so far as to say that this was the game of the show. This was definitely the game of the show in terms of the gameplay demo, in terms of what they showed off. I mean, Playground Games, at this point, do we really need to question them? If anything, this made me a hell of a lot more excited for Fable. I mean, I already knew the game itself would look beautifully. Like, it would look visually stunning. But now I'm just even more excited, like, if they're going to take that same attention to detail with how they craft the entire world in the game and the modes, and how that's going to translate to an RPG. Dude, like, I don't want to get excited for a game that is still, like, maybe 1 to 2 years out. But, man, if they do Fable justice, bro, Playground Games might become a top 3 studio at Xbox, man. So, Forza Horizon 5 and all the attention to detail and all that stuff, it's just looking like chef's kiss. Now, moving into the next game that, honestly, I'm going to catch some flack from some people right here. I mean, I'm already sweating right now. Well, that's what happens when you have a bunch of studio lights on you. Sorry about that. I know I'm going to catch a flack from some people right here, but Starfield, man. Now, here's the thing, right? We learned a release date of Starfield, which was very surprising. And we also learned that it's exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem. So Xbox, xCloud, and PC. But what they showed off, I'm going to be real, y'all. That shit wasn't impressive at all. Now, yes, it is in-engine footage, so that's probably representative of the game that we might end up playing. But I'm old school, man. I don't need to see CGI trailers. I don't need to see something in-engine. That's some stuff you do for dev diaries. If you're talking about making a proper first reveal of a game that they announced, like, what, in E3 2018? You gotta do more than that, bro. You gotta do more than that. So Starfield right now, in my opinion, the jury is still out. We don't know what this game is going to be. I mean, they can drip details of it's going to be this type of RPG. It's going to be so ambitious. No Tom Cruise, yada, yada, yada. But until I see concrete gameplay, like, I want to get excited, guys. But it does nothing for me. Kudos if you can. I mean, it's using the brand new Creation Engine 2. So hopefully instead of 16 million bugs, there'll be 16,000 bugs. But I don't know, man. Like, people just got way too much hope in Bethesda than I think they realistically should, but that's just me personally. So Starfield, it coming out at the end of 2022. I was surprised because I thought this was going to be like an early 2022 game, like the spring. But I mean, if they are confident enough to know that, okay, we need an extra year and a half of development to make sure we get this launch right, I'm A-okay with that, man. I'd rather the game be quality at the end of the day. Insert that Shigeru Miyamoto quote right here. But the one thing about Starfield that I thought was very, like, I think it slipped by a lot of people because they noticed the whole exclusive thing and they ran with it for their whole fanboy stuff thing, was the fact that this is a next gen, well, current gen technically, but it's a next gen exclusive. This game isn't coming to the Xbox One, you guys, and that just, bro, can we just talk about for a second how Microsoft flipped the narrative? How they were like, okay, we're going to be supporting cross-generation games for like the first 1 to 2 years, and then a lot of the stuff that they've shown off since has been Xbox Series, PC stuff going forward, and not Xbox One games. Like, that is friggin' awesome. You know, just the fact that it's not going to be held back by older generation hardware. Like, dude, seriously, yes, these are the moves that we need to make, and I am so glad that they ditched Xbox One development at whatever stage that they did. So yeah, Starfield. I just, guys, I want to be excited with you guys, but Todd Howard, the man, still has not apologized for Fallout 76. So yeah, he's not Papa Todd to me. But yeah, there was a couple of other things they showed off, like Redfall, for example, which, again, I'm gonna catch some flack. I like the concepts, but again, it's a CGI trailer. It's a CGI trailer, guys. Didn't we just go a whole year? Like last year, Xbox got accused of showing nothing but CGI trailers for games that are years out. And yes, this game is coming in 2022. So that is soon-ish. A year, depending. But dude, like, a CGI trailer. Like, I would at least think they would have some type of gameplay to show. So, I mean, I'm happy because it looks kind of quirky. And of course, they got a Black Queen in there with accurate hair. I need to see gameplay, man. I need to see gameplay, because for all we know, it could end up being a completely different game than we see. I mean, Dead Island, anyone? Dead Island? We all thought that was going to be Dead Island. But yeah, it is cool that, you know, going forward, Xbox is going to be focusing on game diversity, and their lineup really shows that. They really have a game for everybody. Now, whether you like those games is kind of up in the air, but the fact that they have a game for each type of person, you know, whether it's Sea of Thieves with the Pirates of the Caribbean crossover, or it is something like Redfall, things like that, or something just crazy like what's that game they called? Shredders, like snowboarding games, right? Like whatever happened to the days of SSX, you know? They had Steep come out, but did Steep really do anything? I don't know, man. It's good. So Xbox is definitely trying to get away from the whole identity of Halo, Gears, and Forza. Shout out to the Kids Move song. And they're focusing on letting their studios do whatever they want, man, and that definitely does excite me. But if you want to talk about a game that is just, I don't want to say it kind of came out of nowhere considering the track record of this studio, but when they came to show something, they showed something. And of course, I'm talking about Stalker 2. Now, like, I already knew I was going to check out Stalker 2 because from the limited time I played of the first Stalker, like when I got my gaming PC 10 years ago, I enjoyed what I played. But seeing this shit right here, it's on a completely different level. From the obviously attention to details, a level 10, the motion capture for the characters, the expression, the narrative is looking really damn solid, and it's coming out in April. Like, dude, now I have a game that I could realistically hype within the next 12 months. Like, that is definitely something I want to see more of. But unfortunately, you know, we didn't get a lot of that with the Xbox conference. We got some solid games. Don't get it twisted. I am not sitting here and downplaying Psychonauts 2. I'm extremely excited about Psychonauts 2. But that was a game that was already in development before the acquisition. And it's a game that's coming to multiple platforms. Well, yeah, well, their games are games, Neo, their platform. Yeah, it's true. But if we're talking about Xbox being like, yo, 12 teraflippity flops of power, and the only games you're getting are just things that are on the Xbox One. Sure, they look prettier on the Series X, but I mean, let's just keep it 100, man. Like, they definitely should have planned out the first year of the Series X's life a hell of a lot better. But hey, what can we do now? I mean, there's really nothing else we can do. But overall, grading this conference, you know, even though there was an abundance of CGI trailers like Redfall and the game from Avalanche Studios, overall, I think this was Xbox's best E3 by a long shot. And I mean, like I said before, it's not saying much considering the history of Xbox press conferences, but for the first time in such a long time, and I could not say this last year, you guys. I could not say this last year. For the first time in a long time, I feel like Xbox has got it on track. They have got their trajectory, and they know what they're doing. Because think about this shit for a second, right? We saw the games that we're going to be playing within the next couple of months. Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5. Of course, we got Stalker next year, Redfall, Starfield. They didn't even show off all the other games in their portfolio. So Fable, Perfect Dark, Avowed, Outer Worlds 2 just got announced. We know that's a few years out. But it's just looking like they're going to have consistent banger after banger. Now, the quality of the games may vary. But if this plan really works, bro, if this plan really works, I think we are definitely due for the best generation in Xbox history. And I'm not talking about the homie Phil Spencer. Phil, I know you watch the channel, bro. I know. But I'm not talking about this is the best year for Xbox every single year and it's Crackdown 3 and Sea of Thieves Day 1. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about some real, genuine hype stuff. And man, I'm excited. I'm excited. So while I gave it like a 6.5 score tomorrow, that like yesterday, that score wasn't a bad thing because I just know that score will be increasing, go from 6.5 to 7, 7.5 to 8. And just knowing what they got in the pipeline, man, I'm hype. I know it's video games industry. Don't get yourself too excited, Neo, but it's just, if this shit works, bro, if this shit works. But that's all I got to say today, you guys, on the Xbox E3 press conference. I know this was more of a chill, laid-back video, not too much crazy editing. But let me know down below in the comment section if you guys really enjoyed this sort of return to form recordings. And let me know your thoughts about everything that Xbox showed off at this E3 conference. What game are you guys excited about to play the most? Whether it's coming out on Xbox via Game Pass or it's just releasing on Xbox. Comment down below and let me know. And for Meteor for now, my name is NGS signing out. And like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace.